Hi all you guys out there in YouTube land, Chibi here with Lavender, my lovely centaur girl. And this is a wine and dollies, I guess, except for me it's a caffeine and dollies because if I don't have caffeine I go into withdrawal. And it does not feel good. Anyways, so I decided to just go ahead and do a wine and dollies. I don't know how people like it or dislike it more. I'm more a fan of the shorter videos that I can watch quickly, but I seem to get good feedback. The heck is on your tail? Oh, that's weird. In a second. Sorry, I'm gonna talk about her in a minute anyways. I get distracted easily. But, I thought I'd, make a basic video here talking about what I'm doing in the wine and dollies works. So, I have her right now because someone specifically asked for more videos with her. And, so to start off this lovely wine and dollies, I'll start off by talking about my issues with this lady. And they are not actually issues with the physical doll, they're just more character wise. Like, the doll itself has wonderful, wonderful posability. I've never had another centaur doll, so I cannot compare it to any other centaur dolls that are out there. But her posability and her locking joints, which she has, like, incredible locking joints. I'm gonna post on my Instagram some of the stuff I got her to do today. You'll have to excuse the background and stuff because it's not like, oh, I did a photo shoot with her. It's literally where she sits in my room. I just kind of started playing with her to try to see. There's some weird nicks on it that I've never noticed until just now. I don't know if they're going to come up on the video. It's like right there. Yeah, it's starting to come up on the video. It's like a weird nicks. If I don't slam stuff onto her. But I got some great poses out of her just to see, out of curiosity, how far I could get her to go, because if you don't know, Fairyland does have its own YouTube. I think if you search Fairyland, you will find it. I think it's like CP something or another, Fairyland, blah, blah, blah. I can't look it up because I'm recording off my phone to tell you. I didn't think I was going to tell you this information or I would have wrote it down. But, recently they do a video about all their doll releases. And, they show you, like, the full set and posing and all this, like, dramatic video. And it's to me, super interesting. I absolutely love that Fairyland takes the time to make these videos and do these photo shoots. Because, I mean, what they're essentially doing is videoing the photo shoot for the dolly pictures they post on their website to sell the doll. And I really like it, personally. I like seeing the video. They have done with Scarlet, I think was her sculpt name, the original large seahorse girl that I have. They do have a video on there just specifically showing you how the body poses. And they might have one from when they released the Loose Wind of how this body poses. I can't remember if it was just, if I remember seeing the poses in that or if it was in an actual video made for showing you how it poses. I think they might have, though. And it's really cool, and they're not lying. Like, they're not tricking you in these videos into thinking these dolls can't do things that they can do things that they can't. Here we go. It's just, a lot of time, patience, and understanding weight balancing with her. Because you do have this whole, like, half of a minifee doll here, that if you're trying to balance her on her back legs, you have to get perfectly balanced, where you're kind of throwing her head this way, and in some cases I kind of use the tail as a semi-tripod kickstand type thing. I wish on this tail they had not put this little notch here that makes it where you cannot twist this around, because there's also a little nub right there that helps it do certain poses, but it also makes it where you can't do certain things, I think, or I could be wrong, maybe it's just the tail in general can't do those things, but I did get some pretty crazy poses out of her. So this doll is amazing. My Instagram is the same username as it is on here. DIR number 3 EN number 8 GREY. It's Dyed in Gray, the band, with 3 and 8 as the spaces, because it's been my that's been my username for years. Just funny because I haven't listened to their music in years. I just always use the same username so I can easily remember what I have everywhere. And people can more easily find me who've known me for a while. So, you can't just sit this doll. It's not like a normal doll, but you can just sit her on your lap. You're just such a pain in my butt. There we go. Why don't you look at the camera? There we go. So, my issues with this doll. Oh, my issues, my tissues. Lovely. So, I am an SD person. I've always been an SD person. Since the first time I held an actual SD in my hand, a part of me realized that SDs are life. And as much as I love my MSD dolls, I have a much harder time connecting with them. I have a much harder time having their stories. They just don't come alive to me like other dolls can. It's just something about the size and the fact that my biggest main story is in SD, and it's like the one story that takes up the most of my brain space. It's the story I care the most about, really. It's the story that really just takes the most of my heart space. It means something to me, and though I will probably never write it down, I will probably never fully flesh out the story, it means something to me, and it makes my dolls mean something to me, and I love it. So I've been trying to push her into that story, because she wouldn't be the only MSD in that story. Little Dove, my Zoom Adamelia on shale hooves, I think. I have those sculpt named right. She's a slight hybrid, just two different Zoom dolls, and she has the hooved feet. She's in that story, and she fits just fine, mainly because Zoom dolls are chunkier and look more like small children, or at least she does the way I have her styled, than minifees, who don't quite look as good with larger dolls. Like, I'll bring one down. This is just, not someone from a story, but just as a size showing. When you try to put her with SDs, minifees just don't work the way some of other MSD companies can, because, you know, even if she is in the story, she's like a baby centaur. And this is a very short SD. I think he's probably around 60 centimeters or less. And you can see their feet are about in the same spot. So she's like an epically tiny horse compared to him. And so I want her in that story, but I'm not really sure she'll fit physically without just looking funny. And now his legs are just up in the air. I can't put your feet down. And I just don't know if she's ever going to make her way into that story. And that's my biggest... Sorry, spider. I think it's dead. I don't like spiders. It's not moving. Sorry. That's why I can't have long videos, because I can't stay concentrated a long time. So that's her biggest problem, is story. I couldn't get her to fit into my more newfounded MSD storyline. Of course, there's Castiel and Dean, who are my two minifee males, technically. Castiel's a drag queen. Dean is a bouncer at the club. They live in their own story. It's just the two of them, and I'm okay with that because I love Castiel. He is a minifee Chloe on the male active line body that's not muscular, and I've always loved him. I love dressing him. I love making him look super crazy. He's always been perfect, and I'm cool with that. And then there's my Doll Zone Annie, Sora, my minifee... What sculpt is that? There's Nikki. She's a minifee. Her sculpt name has completely just flew out of my brain, ran away. There's my Hujo Donna, which I really have just been calling Donna. I'm really bad about just using sculpt names. And my Resin Soul Iishu. I don't know how to pronounce that one. Tony. It's the discontinued sculpt that was specific to Featherfall, I think. It was a Canadian reseller who is now out of business, and they had a particular sculpt and that you could only get through them. So I have him. He had the big bunny ears. And they have this storyline with one of my minifee event heads, the one with the kissy face. It goes, jury something or another. And they have this storyline that really fits them, and I'm 90% sure that my incoming seahorse girl, Alicia, I think that's it. It's Alicia. Is gonna fit in that storyline. I'm pretty sure. If not, I don't know. I was in love with that full set and I couldn't let it go. Probably gonna have the same issue with her as I do with her, but we'll see. So I really need to be more careful about buying MSDs, because my problem with MSDs is I just don't connect with them unless they will find their way into my SD storyline. Oh, sorry. I don't like talking this long. So, I just don't connect with them the same, and I really thought buying a centaur in this size would be better because of weight and pricing issues, because I'm pretty sure if Fairyland finally gives in and gives us an SD centaur, it is going to cost out of the booty. Like, ridiculous. And I will probably be getting it unless I really, 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 really hate something about it. Unfortunately, she has inspired a centaur character into my SD storyline. Sadly enough, she cannot fill it. No, okay, go back. That's the one thing she did. She created a centaur in my SD storyline that she cannot become because she is not big enough. You do not know how mad I am about that. I am seriously mad. Because I was like, oh, the centaur and the storyline would be so perfect because they're a traveling freak show that travels the United States, but they have to be on the down low. So they tend to not really use cars as much because, hey, Nagi, it's okay, honey. Sorry, my puppy just came to the door, but he can't get in here. And, you know, having a centaur who could easily, you know, carry a wagon would be great. Because right now, Brandon carries one of the wagons. He's my Zoom Chalco. Sorry if you can hear my puppy whining. He is not happy about the fact that he cannot get in here. Nagi, go to bed. Go night-night. He just knows night-night means go to his bed and sleep. I've been playing with him all morning. He's just needy. So, it would be great if I could have another character that was big enough and strong enough to carry a wagon like Brandon is, because Brandon's just ridiculously strong. And Frankie can and does help, but Frankie is the Frankenstein ring doll, and he cannot, in my story, really carry a wagon for too long, not because of his inability strength-wise, but his limbs' inability to stay on. So, whoops. But he does help when he can in that storyline. So I have a centaur in that storyline, kind of. I won't let it completely come to fruition, because I don't want to have to search out a centaur to fill it. I'm just hoping that maybe, you know, Fairyland. I'll do that really, really long layaway with Denver doll, no matter how expensive it is, unless you just screw it up completely. So, yeah, could you just give me an SD version of this that poses like this? It'd be wonderful. I have, as you see, currently taken off her wings and trying to see if maybe she'll fit in a little bit more without them, because I've already feel a little bit more of a connection with her without the... Oh, good job, Emily. Chibi. I don't have a real name. I do a much more happy. That's not words, right? I'm much happier with her without it. I wish they had a release of this version of the centaur without this piece and these pieces, like where it's got sculpting on here, because I definitely would like it better if she didn't, because she looks a little, what's the word, too ornate for the freak show, which is another issue I have with her, with those. I just wish they were plain. I've thought about possibly putting her up for trade, like just the horse body part, to trade with someone if they have the original release that doesn't have those on it. But then kind of like, I'm not gonna lie, I'm just kind of worried about being screwed. You know, one half getting lost in the mail and that being my half or something, or, you know, even if I sent this body off and it got lost in the mail, or if it just got screwed by a bad person, because, I mean, you like it or not, there are those people in this hobby. If I could magically find someone, you know, local or at least within driving distance, and we could trade in person. I've done a trade in person. Do you know how awesome trading in person is? It's great. Great. Trading in person is great. I traded with someone a long time ago. I traded them my Doll Zone U2, which is like a huge Doll Zone doll. It's like 72 centimeter, for my Zoom Adamelia. It's when she still had her human legs, and then I bought shell legs to put on her. But until then, I'm just kind of dealing with this. I'm not dealing, it's not that bad. It's just, I don't know, I just wish she didn't have those extra ornate pieces. I'm gonna put her down, because I'm kind of just sick of holding her. She's just awkward. She can't just sit in your lap like a normal person. We'll bring him in and finish up her little bit of story. So, yeah, he's one of my characters that doesn't have a character. He just kind of exists. I don't want to sell him. So, as it is with her, I'm just trying to see where she goes. Lavender, she's a beautiful doll. I love everything about her. She just doesn't fit, and she won't come up with a character for me. I did buy some fabric that's like faux leather to try to see if I could get myself to make something for her, but I just feel really, really intimidated by it. Like, I don't know what to do. Because it's like couch type, upholstery type fabric. Because that's the only thing I could find that looked like a natural type thing that I liked at Hobby Lobby that didn't have a black backing, which I was afraid would stain her. So, I don't know. If I do some more stuff with her, or for character clicks, I'll be sure to make another video about her. I definitely want, since I've taken her wings off, want to take Castiel out with the wings on. Yeah, he would look banging in those wings. But unfortunately, I think it's supposed to rain this entire few days I have off, so it's probably not going to happen these days off. Which sucks. But anyways, so on to him. He's the doll I've been working on as of late. I found that I feel, what are the words I'm looking for? I feel like when it comes to getting stuff done with a doll, there are like things that will stop me. Like, I don't feel like doing that right now. Like, I'd love to blush him or do something with him, but I really don't feel like spraying him with MSC. Because that involves taking a bunch of stuff outside, like my table and spray and Tupperware to put over once I spray him so he can dry without that. And then I feel kind of awkward because I'm outside and I don't have any fencing or anything to block people's view like I did at my parents' house where no one could see me when I sprayed outside. I also do not have the proper ventilation to spray MSC, so I end up wearing one of the basic masks and wrapping my head in a scarf, because I do have the basic white mask, because we have painted and stuff at my house, so we have those. And I spray them and leave them outside, and I don't know. I don't like it. It takes a lot of effort for me to go spray them outside because I don't have a normal backyard and stuff like that. And I did see a while back Pint Size Palace used a cardboard box to spray into, which is a good idea that I might try, like, instead of taking the whole table out there. But it's wet right now, of course, and humid, so I couldn't do anything this whole weekend. And I couldn't, try anything like that. So I had remembered that I've seen, I think Nicole Dreams is the YouTube, use latex, Liquitex, not latex. I'm going to grab it. Unfortunately, it's actually what's holding this camera up. So, sorry for the movement. Put something else back there to hold my camera up. This stuff. And, she does it with a airbrush, but I had seen somewhere else on YouTube using, I'll just show this, the makeup pads. I've cut this one down quite a few times. But using a makeup sponge and kind of sponging it on. So I tried that on some junk pieces that I really don't care about that I have sitting around. And also on his horns. So let me grab that. This one, I'm just going to leave it set up. This one I haven't painted yet, but I did use the Liquitex on it. And I think it gives it a little bit more of a toothiness. But the problem is, and I don't think this is going to come up on camera, it attracts dust. Nah, it's not going to. The pieces are too small. It attracts dust more, I think, than what you would get with MSC. And it's more likely to have bubbles and running. Well, I would say it's more likely to have like the runs where you just put too much on, it kind of runs down and then it looks like there's, you know, something there. But I've had that problem with MSC before too. I'm grabbing him. I don't know what's up with him right now. I sprayed him a long time ago with just normal MSC. You can see like these weird little drippy lines have actually turned yellow. Which is kind of weird. Just a little kind of weird. I need to completely just take it off because the drippage is not... Like, I tried to just use the magic eraser on it and try to get it down, but now he's got like weird splotchiness. This just, when I sprayed this, did not work at all, and I never had this bad of an issue spraying MSC. But he has like this weird blotchiness all above his eyebrow, some runs down here. I just really screwed that one up. I'm probably going to completely wipe him and do the Liquitex on him, because he's a junkhead. I don't really care if anything happens to him. But I did that on this. I had those problems, but I really don't care about his, because I'm doing this to them. Completely painting them with acrylic paints. Which, yeah, let's test out a whole new thing by going full-blown acrylics, because that's really, really smart. I don't care. If anything happens to his horns, I will buy more from Resin Soul. I love these horns. Anyways, I've gotten a coat of acrylic on this, and I'm trying to decide what I want to do next. I'm thinking I'm gonna put another coat of Liquitex on here, and maybe another coat of acrylics, as excessive as that sounds, or pastel out some of the like patchy parts that probably won't show up on camera. You can kind of see the patchiness there. It's like right here. There's like a few patchy spots, but I really like this color. I use this color for way too much. I got this off the clearance rack of Hobby Lobby. Like, I use this color a lot. This is a painting I've been working on. It's not really, I guess, my version of a painting, because I'm not artistic. Like that, at least. So, I did those with it, just kind of testing how it went on, especially with the like curves of the horns. It's a little bit harder. And I tried it on some other junk pieces that I just don't know what to do with anyways, just to see how it worked out. And it seemingly worked really well. From the bits I've done, I will say if you have pastels already on something, because I tested this, and you're trying to patch it on with the makeup brush, doesn't really... Okay, it works. The issue is some of the pastels come up onto the makeup brush, and I don't think I have any of the pieces where I can show you. There it is. I had something blushed with a black tone, and it came up on this, which it didn't really affect the blushing on it. But then if you try to go and blush something that you didn't have blushed with a certain tone onto something else, it could transfer the pastels, which is a big no, I don't want that, and stuff like that. So what I ended up doing, because I blushed the black part first, it seemed like a good idea, was just chopping off the piece with a pair of scissors that I had already done, re-putting it in some Liquitex and doing more, just because the rest of this is fine, you know. And I'm testing that because it's on top of pastels to see how that works out, and if it really works, because pastels don't set like acrylic paints. Like, you can put, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be able to put Liquitex right on top of that acrylic paint without an issue. But I just been testing things. So this is probably the longest video I've ever made. It's super rambly. It is what it is. I was going to talk about some other stuff in this video, but I don't really want this to be too far over 30 minutes. I'm not even sure how long this is going to take to upload, or if y'all are even going to be interested in listening to ramble quite this long, because this is long. So please, please, please let me know in some fashion if you like these long videos. A thumbs up, a comment. I don't really care. I just kind of want some feedback. If it's worth the time it takes to A, film a 30-minute long video, and B, upload it with my crappy internet. So you'll probably be seeing some more videos after this, all in this same lovely Pusheen shirt that I just got out of the Pusheen box. I love it. Because I'm gonna film a lot today and slowly upload. I'm not probably slowly release, because I don't want to spam people's stuff, but I'm motivated to make videos now, and I'm not gonna change shirts, so you're just gonna see the same thing for a while. Anyways, I hope you're having a good day. I really hope you enjoyed this video, but if not, go ahead and say, hey, I prefer short videos, and I'll try to just see what people like better. Bye!